Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But in today's video, I do want to make a very short video about this, but I do want to talk about some very, very big news that has just happened, and that is Donald Trump has contracted coronavirus, or COVID-19. He contracted it, or he announced it around 1 a.m. last night, and when I saw it, I was just completely shocked. It was, pretty much what we would expect given how 2020 has gone. And obviously, you hope for the best with Donald Trump. Hope he has a very speedy recovery. Also, his wife Melania contracted the coronavirus. Hopefully, they both have a very speedy recovery and they are all okay. It seems like it says President Trump is experiencing cold-like symptoms after testing positive for coronavirus, according to two people familiar with his condition. Vice President Mike Pence, Joseph R. Biden Jr., and other officials have tested negative. Kamala Harris also tested negative. Mark Meadows, the chief of staff, also tested negative. The president of Notre Dame, who was at the Supreme Court announcement of Amy Coney Barrett less than a week ago, has also contracted coronavirus. And this news really broke when around, maybe 8 p.m. last night, 9 p.m. last night, Eastern time, Hope Hicks, it was announced by CNN that she had the coronavirus, and she is one of Trump's top advisors. So there's immediate questions, could Trump have it? And then I was actually watching I got a notification saying Trump was going to be calling into Fox News, so I watched it, and by the look of it, Trump you could tell that Trump was definitely worried about it and thought that he was definitely near her. He said he was near her all the time, and then turns out just a couple hours later, he did end up having it. And one of the very interesting things, Hope Hicks originally tested negative, and then she started feeling symptoms, and she tested positive, but Trump still went to a golf fundraiser in New Jersey and held an event there, which is probably not the most responsible thing to do, but he still did do it. And it points out, this is a very crazy time. It says, the First Lady Melania Trump said on Twitter that, quote, "I have mild symptoms, but overall feeling good. I am looking forward to a speedy recovery," she said in the tweet. "I hope that it is a speedy recovery for the both of them, as I need to emphasize, because there's been a lot of bad things on both sides. There's always going to be bad people on both sides. We had the same thing with when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. We're going to have the same things here, but you need to absolutely condemn that on all sides, any kind of harmful thinking or wishing harm on anybody. But looking at it from a political standpoint, it says the disclosure upended the presidential race in an instant, inviting significant questions about his cavalier attitude toward the pandemic and the future of his campaign just 32 days before the election. So if you do have the coronavirus, you are supposed to quarantine for, 14 days at least. And if you get even more sick and you go to the hospital, it could be even longer than that. So, God forbid, Trump, gets a worse condition. This could linger on until the election, which really does not play out well politically for him. It says Mr. Trump, who has for months played down the seriousness of the virus, and hours earlier on Thursday night told an audience that the end of pandemic is in sight, will quarantine in the White House for an unspecified time period, forcing him to withdraw at least temporarily for the campaign trail. He did cancel all of his events except for, I believe, one event that he was going to be with seniors. He was also going to do an event with the governors, like a call with the governors, but he ended up not going to that. Mike Pence instead was the one that went on that call. I also believe that the Republican National Committee chairwoman also tested positive for COVID-19. She was with Trump last Friday, so it's really hard to tell where this came from. Did Trump get it from Hope Hicks? Did Hope Hicks get it from Trump, who got it from the RNC chairwoman at Friday? Did the RNC chairwoman get it from Trump, and Trump's only showing symptoms now? There's really a lot of questions that we probably will never get the answer to, but Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey urged people to attend Mr. Trump's Bedminster fundraiser to get tested and said that the state was using contact tracing to try and find them. It says Vice President Mike Pence, the first in line to assume the Oval Office if Trump's become too ill to carry out his duties, tested negative for the virus on Friday, so that is good news. Mike Pence did test negative for the virus. And again, Joe Biden and his wife Jill Biden both test negative. Joe Biden, if you look at the debate, was a pretty good distance away from Donald Trump. So assuming if Donald Trump did have the virus then, it did not spread to Joe Biden, which is also good news. So again, yeah, Biden did not get it there. It says Trump recently traveled to and from 3 states with a packed schedule before he learned he tested positive. So, he traveled to Ohio, Minnesota, and New Jersey. He was doing those big rallies, mingling with a lot of people. He probably, got it some point then. It says on the way back from the debate, Jared Kushner, the president's senior advisor and son-in-law, could be seen in his staff cabin speaking animatedly to his colleagues with no mask covering his face. Upon landing at Joint Base Andrews in the middle of a heavy rainstorm, others in Air Force One huddled together to share an umbrella. So, Jared Kushner could possibly have it as well. These people did all test negative, but again, these things do take a while to show up in tests, so they're still supposed to quarantine, but we'll see how that actually turns out. They are in a unique position. They don't really get tested every day. But, so very interesting or very poor news about this. So Pence did test negative, which is a good thing. He is next in line for the presidency. Hopefully Trump has a speedy recovery. But this is just showing you this graph here. The pandemic is not over. We had the first wave, then we, very quickly had a second wave. It started going back down, and now it started to stagnate again. And, it's even going up in places that had been very flat for a while. Places like New York and other areas in the Midwest, or in the Northeast. You look at a state like Wisconsin, it's going through the roof in Wisconsin. So, very worrying signs on the front of the coronavirus. It is not going anywhere anytime soon. And people do need to remain vigilant about this because it is still a very big issue. Wear a mask, socially distance, wash your hands, do all of that. Make sure you can limit the risk as much as possible so that we can all get through this together. So this is a very short video, but I did want to talk about this because it's very, very important. The debates are supposed to be in 14 days. I doubt those happen. The VP debates might not even happen either. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I will continue to update this with more videos as we get more information. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. So again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.